As Van Morrison and Brown Eyed Girl. This is ABC Southern Queensland. It's 18-8. Well, the Toowoomba Regional Council Committee has recommended Council not go ahead with planned mountain bike trails for Redwood Park after environmental feedback and other feedback. Alternative routes, including those along the range escarpment, will be considered once flora, fauna and cultural assessments are finalised. Well, Toowoomba Regional Councillor Tim McMahon explains their decision.
There was a rather large recommendation that came before Council. Part of that is that in line with the mountain bike escarpment plan that Toowoomba Regional Council prepared a while ago, we relocate the tracks that were planned for Redwood Park.
Where are they going to go now?
Well, look, we've committed as part of the motion to about 100 Ks of mountain bike trails in Toowoomba region. At present, we have 30 Ks, or between 30 and 35 Ks of trails. So the rest, the other 70 Ks, we can expect that about double the amount in Jubilee will be built, and we're going to progress straight away to the detailed design and the maintenance and construction of those trails in Jubilee. The other 25 odd kilometres, it means that we have some fairly exciting opportunities around the corner that perhaps haven't been finalised for the public yet, but working on some very exciting mountain bike opportunities around the corner.
Now, when you say around the corner, do you mean time-wise or literally around the corner from Redwood or Jubilee?
Look, both. No, there's nothing set in stone at this moment, so I shouldn't preempt anything. But now that we can work on Redwood probably isn't the suitable place for mountain bike trails, we can start to investigate some of the other opportunities in a range of geographical places, close and not so close to Jubilee, and timeframes we'll have to get working on that soon. There has been an extremely comprehensive flora and fauna study done, which includes things like cultural heritage, Indigenous First Nations heritage that's in Redwood Park, and some of the intricacies around that. It's a very long, very detailed read, but I think that loud voices aside, that study came back that it wasn't the right place for mountain bike trails, and I think councillors, around this table were very clear on that. It was very emotional for some today in the chamber, and I think when we look at where Jubilee is and the mountain bike trails that are there and the amenities block that we're building, in that area, some of the opportunities that lie around near Prince Henry Drive, around those areas, there is a few others that haven't been really explored yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they produce.
We've got champion mountain bikers who come from our part of the world. Mountain biking has really taken off. Does Council still value the mountain bike community?
This is the interesting part. I don't think from where I sit, this motion is a yes to Redwood, no to the mountain bikers. I think really this is a win-win, because the motion in its entirety, Peter, it talks about we need to get our 100 Ks. We need to get our nationally significant mountain bike trails. We need to get that done as a matter of priority. And where it will go and what it will look like is still up for some debate. But we need to get it done because we have such a huge mountain biking fraternity here. So, look, I'm very obviously sympathetic to the mountain bikers. I meet with them regularly. Their comments were overwhelmingly, we need 100 Ks of trails. We need everything from green trails to double black diamond trails, and we need them built right here, right now. We're not so concerned on where they go, but we need to see them built. So I'm certainly very sympathetic to that cause, and I think one of the interesting parts of the motion, Peter, just to take you on a bit of a detour, is that mountain bike trail facility that we have at the moment. It's maintained by mountain bike club members with a whippersnipper on Saturday morning. And I think when we had 2 or 3 trails, they were happy to do that. Now that we're going 35 on the doorstep of 100, it's simply too big for a bunch of volunteers to maintain. So part of this motion was that we actually get some council funds in the operational budget for external subcontractors to maintain those trails to an adequate standard, so the club has nice trails to ride on and they don't have to get out there on a Saturday morning with their own whippersnippers, etc. So, look, this motion is very much sympathetic, I think, to the plight of mountain bikers, and that they want to see a great facility here, a national, international standard trail here, and I'm very happy to facilitate that.
That's Toowoomba Regional Councillor Tim McMahon speaking about the Toowoomba mountain bike community. We will hear from them very, very soon. But firstly, one of the members of the Save Redwood Park committee, Scot McPhie, says that his group is elated the council is going to protect the Redwood Park. He told Belinda Sanders the decision will change the course of Toowoomba's history.
We understand there does have to be some development along the range. It's just got to happen in the areas that are most appropriate, and Jubilee Park is a far more appropriate area for mountain biking than Redwood Park is. And I think it's good that the council, as I understand it, they've also committed some funding to helping the mountain bikes in Jubilee Park, because there's a lot of erosion going on with the tracks there. I don't think mountain biking is a sustainable activity in terms of what's required for the track upkeep, so it's good that the council is supporting them there. But we didn't want any mountain bike developments in Redwood Park at all, and we're very glad that the council have seen fit to vote that way, and it's just a win for everyone, and it's a common sense kind of victory, I think. So I'm very pleased that the council have seen it that way.
Jubilee Park bike tracks will be upgraded, as far as you know, and is that park not environmentally worthwhile in terms of protecting like Redwood Park is?
Well, look, everywhere I guess is environmentally worthwhile. The biodiversity values there aren't as high as they are in Redwood, and there's a whole lot of reasons for why Redwood is higher for biodiversity. I think the aspect of the vegetation there is just that much different to Jubilee, and we know that it's favoured by a lot more animals, and so the protection of Redwood is exactly what we want. And you know, we're not idealists. We're not saying no development at all anywhere. That's just unrealistic. And so our concept of sharing the range is that different activities happen in different areas, and the area that should have the least human impact is the area that has the highest biodiversity value, and that's Redwood Park.
When you heard this, what was the first emotion that came over you?
I was at work and I just got a message, and I didn't know what to say, actually. You work at something, I don't know how long we've been going at this for. We started our bird life survey that went for about 14 months. We started that, that would have been the end of 2019, I think, and then the work on the steering committee has been going for probably a year and a half, and it's just a huge relief. You don't actually know how to process it, because we've achieved what we wanted to achieve, but we've also, just done a little bit to alter the course of, the future in this town, and so that's a very significant thing as well. And most people in the town don't realise exactly the value of Redwood, and our next move in the committee is looking at getting it turned into a national park. And in terms of it being an eco-tourism destination, that's something that the council can really get behind. Bird tourists spend the highest per capita of any tourist that actually comes to Australia. And most people might know of Lamington National Park and O'Reilly's and how they use the Regent bowerbird as a symbol. Well, Redwood Park is chock-a-block full of Regent bowerbirds. We have animals here that people are prepared to travel to see.
Yes, as we just heard, the bird tourists will be chuffed. That was Scot McPhie from the Save Redwood Park. Let's hear from the Mountain Bike Club now. David Warner is the president of the Toowoomba Mountain Bike Club, and I spoke with him yesterday afternoon. David Warner, as the president of the Toowoomba Mountain Bike Club, how do you respond to the idea now that Redwood Park is basically off limits, or will become off limits to biking?
It's obviously been a well thought out process, and the decision that's been made was not an easy one, obviously, by council. Just upon the environmental assessment, it's just come back that there is a lot of significant areas that need to be managed, and as a club, we certainly, and the community, we don't want to disturb any of that. So as far as the lack of trails being in Redwood, they were going to be probably along the lines of the design for more family orientated use. Not that Jubilee won't, but it just means it's slightly more advanced. To get 100k in Jubilee is obviously possible, but the density of the trail network would potentially hurt the environment. We wouldn't want to get it to that level. So the right happy medium of trails versus open terrain and area like that is taken into account. As for why there's an environmental and heritage assessment even done in the first place, it all comes into play for that. So the areas that we could probably facilitate at the moment would be comfortably 70 kilometres. depending what happens in the future with potential land acquisitions around the area, could easily see that come up to the 100K.
If we're talking, then we need to find more space to put these trails in. Are you happy that there is the opportunity and there are places that these extra trails could go? Is there room somewhere on that range for more bike trails when you have to take Redwood off the map and almost like comparable?
There's definitely a happy medium. One of the big reasons and main attractions for utilising Redwood is one, the beautiful scenery through there, but two, the ability to really pair it up with Whistcott, which would make Whistcott a really a vibrant area to be. You'd have a lot of tourism that would come down there, and coffees and after ride drinks, and it'd form a really good community. So as I would see, the area in front of Picnic Point, Prince Henry, if that became available, things like that would work really well. I know there's some potential areas over in the DA land at the end of Mackenzie Street there that potentially could become available, and all of that's great terrain and great area, and would be very, very well suited to some mountain bike trails. The mountain biking community cares about the environment just as much as the Friends of the Escarpment and all other park users. I think there is definitely a happy medium, and I do look forward to the future of the parks, where we, I hope that Redwood and their conservation methods can come across and help aid and improve areas in Jubilee and other areas around the Toowoomba Escarpment. So, and as far as walkers and things like that, there's multi-use trails proposed for mountain bikers and walkers and bird watchers alike. So I think, we all just want to get out into the park and enjoy the nature, and we've got one of the best opportunities on our doorstep. For the last 15 years, the Toowoomba Mountain Biking Club has put in thousands and countless hours of maintenance in the park. That is including weed management. Just in the last 3 months, we've cleared probably about 2,000 square metres of lantana in Jubilee. It's really good to see that the council are putting some money towards helping the club maintain the land and keep it in the most pristine condition for all the park users. When there is sunshine, it means that everyone can go out and enjoy it.
Yes, there's David Warner, the president of the Toowoomba Mountain Bike Club, on that decision that Toowoomba Regional Council Committee has recommended that the mountain bike trails not be built in Redwood Park, and some of the alternative ideas that are coming out. Council still say, as we heard from Tim McMahon earlier, Council still is committed to having 100 kilometres of mountain bike trails on the range somewhere. It just won't be in Redwood Park. This is ABC Southern Queensland. It's good to have your company this morning. Looks like it should be a fine day mostly right throughout the region.